What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pocketeers, our Pokemon TCG Pocket YouTube channel. It's so nice of you to join us today. My name is Nate, this is Mike, and if you've not been here before, welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about some of these deck lists in our weekly Ursiiday's Pocket Review. So, if you didn't see our video last week, you should check it out. We did a bit of an in-depth analysis, and we are going to release some decks on this week's video. Some actual in-depth deck reviews. So, without further ado, Mike, let's talk to everyone about what happened this weekend.
Well, as you can see, there's just green everywhere, and it isn't from the amount of money people have been spending on Pocket, which is record-breaking, just by the way.
It's insane.
Pokemon hit some gold here with this game, but we've got Celebi and Exeggutor everywhere in the top 16, which is insane. It means it's one of the best, one of the most played top tier decks, which means that the ultimate winner, we'll get to that in a second, is someone who could beat that Celebi deck and burn off its wings and fry some coconuts. So it was an interesting tournament. My deck that I'm enjoying playing the most right now, we'll do a deck review on it later, but Kung Fu Lightning didn't even make the top 32.
That's interesting. Another honorable mention is that, yeah, this was Mike's deck. Not a bad win rate, just in comparison to the Celebis and Charizard. Magnezone is up there. Forget about the combination in which he's played. Magnezone is winning second, third place. He's up there in the top 20. Obviously, this version of Darkrai won because of something that I am about to talk about, which I'm going to tech in my deck. This is also very strong because of no EX Pokemon, but we'll talk about that. But let's get into fourth place.
Yes.
We spoke about this deck last week, hey? But it's still featuring.
This is Ursiiday's big tournament. Over 1,600 people entered, and these are the decks that ended up in the top 4. Now, we did speak about this, and it's a very interesting take on how to build a pocket deck, because, you know, a lot of early decks had, what, 10 to 12 Pokemon, 8, 10, 12. This one, you go minimal Pokemon, you make the
minimal
most
basics as well, which means you probably start in with an Exeggutor up front.
Yeah, it's 2 Exeggutors and a Celebi, right? Means means your Pokeballs are going to hit one of the things you need when you need it. You're starting with one of those things, and your communications are more than likely going to get out an Exeggutor when you need it too. So it increases its consistency by playing less Pokemon, but notice also that it doesn't overdo the supporters either. So it's got quite a decent supporter run, and it makes the most of those tool cards and that healing with Erica and the potions.
This card and this card frustrate me so much when I play this deck, because the 70 healing on Exeggutor, who already is tanky as hell, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just that potion card, more than the Erica, has been splashed into many decks. I don't think many Pokemon players expected potion to be such a clutch card.
It counters Cyrus so hard.
If people are building their decks with certain numbers in mind, and you take them 20 hit points away from that number constantly, you almost guaranteed to win the game, because you're throwing off the entire math. So it is really a good clutch card that should be in most decks, but if you're putting it in a grass deck for healing with a tank like Exeggutor, 180 HP with a giant cape, those coconuts ain't coming down, man.
Those eggs aren't getting scrambled either. Yeah, that's the thing. Just for interest's sake, a potion negates Darkrai's ability. So it's a really strong card. Very good trainer card that's emerging. But yeah, just a standard or a slightly different take on the Exeggutor Celebi deck from last week. One less Celebi, as Mike was saying, just more consistent in getting out the Pokemon that you need. But as you saw, fourth place, very, very competitive deck.
And more than 50% of the top 32 played.
Yeah, just go back to that standing. As you can see, pretty much 8th, 9th, 11th, 12th, all the way, or even Exeggutor with Mew. I'm sure if we looked at that deck quickly, you'll find that it's the same concept. There is a Celebi in there, but he has a Mew tech, obviously just for those Charizards or etc. But yeah, very, very cool to see the old gen, I would say, or the previous format Pokemon still being very strong in meta. And we'll touch on that in first place, because that is also a previous format Pokemon. But moving along to the new format Pokemon, Magnezone is still up there in third place.
This is your deck, so you tell me.
This is my deck, yeah.
What surprises you the most about this?
The Kangaskhan. The Kangaskhan allows said player to be way more aggressive and way more consistent with damage. Drudigan is nice, but people are getting smart and are playing around that Drudigan very easily. Drudigan cost me a few games in our tournament. By the way, if you haven't seen the result, Mike won. Surprise, surprise. He always clutches up. I can beat him 50 times when we play against each other for fun and practice, but come to a tournament, I just cannot win.
It's all part of my strategy.
Yeah,
You know what the
lull
movie
me into...
if you know what the movie Maverick is out there, you'll know what I'm doing tonight every single time.
But on that, if you haven't yet joined our Discord, please do. We've had 2 new members join the community, and we're looking to host another tournament soon before the mini release, which will be A2A, I believe.
End of this month.
End of this month, which is in 2 weeks' time. So join the Discord. We're going to do another tournament. There's prizes at times. I believe the first one we held, there was a $50 cash prize. This previous one, there was I think it was a booster pack set
$15,
of some
yeah.
$15, yeah. Which it's nice. It's something. It's what we can put out. We're just trying to build a little bit of community. So join, have fun. It's good fun. We also have a deck dictionary, so you can browse and make decks to your heart's content. One of our community members, Justin, is an expert at that. So come join him and make some decks. But pivoting back to this deck, I really like the Kangaskhan because yes, it's random with the coin flip, but it's more damage than what Drudigan is going to do with his ability. And if it's anything like Eevee, he could just flip 2 heads. Tanky as heck, 100 HP, same as Drudigan. Yeah, I like it. I think my deck is pretty much... No, my deck is exactly the same as this, except for Drudigan, he's got Kangaskhan.
It really does, again, throw off the math of your opponent by putting some damage on instead of letting him decide to attack to put the damage on, so you take it out of his hand.
Yeah, you can be more aggressive.
But can we agree, and I'm sure we said it before, but Magnezone is the
It's
best
such a good card.
the VIP of this meta right now.
Really is, because of our next deck as well, which we'll touch on. This card can be played with anything. Mike's playing it with his Kung Fu fighting deck. I'm playing it with Darkrai. People are starting to play it with Skarmory. I've seen deck lists with people playing it with Palkia. It's just so versatile and so good. It's such a good attacker. Pivoting to the other version that I just said, Skarmory, Heatran. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Instead of the Darkrai's, you've got the Skarmorys, and instead of the Drudigan, you've got the Heatran. Magnezone, Magnemite powering itself up, Mike, and then I assume how you would play this is you leave Heatran on your bench, build him up to do that extra 110 damage to clear, and then you just lay in damage on the field of Skarmory with that tool card.
Yeah, it changes out the Drudigan for aggression, and it changes out the Darkrai for a Heatran, which is only going to give 1 prize. And if you are being aggressive and you are forcing your opponent into attacking you, or you're laying out some damage on him, you're making the numbers sweet so that 110 basic Pokemon can really hurt.
On that, because I'm realizing if you put 3 energies on Darkrai, that's 120 damage in total plus his attack. That's only 10 less for Heatran. Also 1 less prize, so it's really not bad. And with Skarmory, if you put a Rocky Helmet on him, he becomes a 50 damage dealer that's doing 20. He effectively becomes a Drudigan that can do 20 damage. That can do 50 damage, sorry. If you put the cape on him, he has 100 HP, so he basically becomes Drudigan.
And literally
very
only
strong.
takes 2 turns for Magneton to really come and revenge you too. So you don't even know where to look. You'll be looking at Skarmory, and then Magneton will turn to Magnezone and kill you.
2 turns is all you need. 2 lightnings, 1 metal. See you later. Thanks for coming. And the low retreat cost of the deck is also really strong, which is why I assume this player is not running any type of retreat costs, no X speeds or leaf, because in reality, you're spreading the damage of Skarmory and then retreating with Skarmory for that 1 retreat cost, and then bringing out your attackers and cleaning the field. So very nice deck.
Once you're hitting with Heatran, that's it. You just keep an attack with Heatran. You take the 1 prize. That's why you can afford to lose a prize in these non-X decks.
Yeah, yeah. And
I also like the typing. Because,
it is nice, yeah. It's
like just
different.
It's metal and electric, but Magnezone has always felt like a half electric type Pokemon, half metal. So now you got the 2 typings in there together. It's quite nice.
Yeah, yeah. This would be the other deck that I'd be consider running. I have built this deck and it is quite fun, so I will do a deck list on this very soon this week, so stay tuned for that. But moving along to first position, pole position, winning the tournament was Mike's call. If you've been following the channel for the last 2 weeks or spying in on our WhatsApp messages, you will know that Mike has said Charizard is still meta, question mark, question mark, question mark. To the point that it won Ursiidays.
It's just, you can't deny the 200 HP. Yeah, you got to get a little lucky, or at least avoid being unlucky with 3 tails flips on that Moltres. But not only is the engine of the deck consistent, but once you get 4 energies on the Charizard, and then you got the 1 energy in hand, you are going to be taking everything out. And there's the star of the show. You
So
keep that
strong.
Moltres, an energy on Moltres for the bench to just come out of nowhere and dawn your opponent to death.
Attach, Dawn, game over. You can do 400 damage in 2 turns with this deck setup. That's enough to close any game.
Would you play Charizard?
If I had
don't
them,
you play Charizard?
because I don't have Charizard. I have the Moltres. I have the Charmander. I have Charmeleon. I have 1 Charizard. I pulled a immersive Charizard this week, which is very nice. I love that art. So maybe it's a sign of things to come.
I think, unfortunately, I could see Charizard winning again, or at least being in the top 4.
He is very
because
strong.
What people will do is they'll play Exeggutor Celebi with Mew to counter Charizard, but then Charizard beats the Celebis, and so Charizard can still stay at the top.
Yeah.
So it looks like a Charizard meta right now.
It is. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the current deck to beat. And if you have a way around it, let us know in the comments, or better yet, join the Discord, make the deck list, and share it with us so we can post it and showcase your brilliant crafted ideas. We'll be back later in the week with some more deck videos. You guys have been loving it, so thank you for the support. And yeah, we'll catch you later in the week. Have a good evening.